Cameroon Defense and Security Forces today, July 16, 2026, successfully carried out an operation that led to the unaliving of a dreaded Amba self-styled general known as General Sagat. General Sagat was unalived in a corner, and he is considered by so many of his fighters, based on videos that do circulate online, to be the head of the Fako Mountain Lions. The Fako Mountain Lion is a dreaded armed separatist group that is operating in Fako division around the belt of Moya, Ekona, Mai 16, Moyoka, who have been carrying out operation killing government soldiers, carrying out attacks, and also they have been accused by several inhabitants of the area of also committing crimes against humanity and also war crimes. Some of the crimes that they have been accused of: kidnappings and killing of civilians. Those allegations, some of those allegations, they have outrightly denied them. Others, they have not commented on them, and some also they have actually confirmed that it was done because of A, B, C, and D. And according to sources, that General Sagat, or the self-styled Amba General, was not unalive alone. That one of his fighters also was killed and another one was injured, and the one that was injured was arrested and is currently being exploited by Cameroon Defense and Security Forces. Now, this crisis ongoing in the northwest and southwest region, this November 2026 will clock 10 years, which means 10 years of the Anglophone crisis. The government of Cameroon has actually carried out several measures or reforms aimed at addressing the root causes of this conflict, aimed at putting to rest the violence operating in the northwest and southwest region, or the Anglophone region, formerly called Southern Cameroon. But however, these measures have not been effectively productive, based on the fact that if these measures were carried out and they were productive, there wouldn't have been crime being carried out in, or there wouldn't have been fighting being carried out or ongoing in the northwest and southwest region. Fighting is still ongoing in the northwest and southwest region, which means that the reforms proposed or carried out or announced by the government of Cameroon have not been effective. So the government of Cameroon, President Pobia government, initially, members of his government in early 2016 initially denied the existence of Anglophone marginalization. They pushed forward right to November 2026, and by November 2026 the crisis moved to a full-blown crisis, where led to September 22, and also it led September 22, 2017, and also led to the disbanding of the consortium and led to the formation of an armed conflict. And when this armed conflict came into existence in 1st of October 2017, that was when the conflict moved to a different level. And some of the bias ministers were still in active denial that there is no Anglophone marginalization and that Anglophones are not being targeted, and that those who are agitating are a group of disgruntled persons who have been captured terrorists and destabilizers, and some were arrested, thrown into Kondengi and some prisons across Cameroon. However, as time went on, President Pobia himself later on came out and acknowledged the fact that yes, there is an Anglophone crisis, yes, there is an iota of marginalization, or yes, there is marginalization, and that there is a need for grand measure national dialogue. And by early July or early August, President Pobia announced the formation of a grand measure national dialogue 2019, and by the 30th of September 2019, there was the formation of a Grand Measure National Dialogue. The Grand Measure National Dialogue took place in Yaoundé, where they discussions were held on actually resolving the conflict, listening to the plight of the Anglophones, and making it possible that their problems are resolved. The Measure National Dialogue saw the creation of the House of Chief Disarmament and Demobilization Commission, was created this year, Center for Repentant Amber Fighters to drop their weapons. However, the teachers were redeployed, 1,000 bilingual teachers were recruited, and teachers were redeployed to their region of origin. But this does not stop the conflict, as agitators see it as cosmetic solution. The government also released some prisoners, and they see it as a cosmetic solution. Now, it is over 10 years. The crisis is still on, fighting is still ongoing in the north and southwest region, though not at the scale as it was before in the early October. But with the killing of General Sagat, what is going to happen in Ekona? Is Ekona going to be that relatively peaceful? And is it going to be relatively peaceful as as compared to when General Sagat or the self-styled General Sagat was. A lot of questions is moving on, but the government of Cameroon has made it clear that they are pushing forward with an active security operation to make it possible that the people of the northern and southwest region are freed from the armed fighters. The armed fighters, on their part, also accuse the government of carrying out crimes against humanity, but allegations where common government has outrightly rejected those allegations, pointing out to the fact that they are carrying out operation targeting armed fighters, that in case there are collateral damage, those who are in charge or who are responsible for those collateral damages, they are often arrested and court-martialed, and that there is due process. And also there have been allegations which common government says they are investigating, ranging from the killing of baby Mata in Muyuka. Government says investigating the Gabo massacre, the Mother Francisca massacre, which the Amber fighters were also accused. The Amber fighters were accused of the Mother Francisca massacre in Kumba. Investigations and investigation. So far, the people of Ekona, we are yet to see their reaction following the unaliving of General Sagat. Some of the people in Ekona have accused this self-styled general of Amber, appointed general, of crimes against humanity. Others also all have accused him of carrying out some kind of acts against them. But however, the group on some occasions have rejected those allegations. It is very difficult to know who is telling the truth as far as the conflict in the northwest and southwest region is concerned. It's very difficult because sometimes some people may not put on uniforms and carry out operations. You go and accuse A. Some people may put on uniform which is not, they are not part of those putting on uniform, and you go and accuse B, and so on. So the end of the day, dialogue is the only way out for the people of northwest and southwest region. So that is for that man's speech. Now this is for my speech. No, this one will go.